call the Committee meeting to order at 3:04 on Tuesday, November 9th. Could I have a roll call, please?
Ms. David Chanel present.
Veronica Kell present. And Lynn, are you there? Can you speak with us? Oh, I see her hand just raised.
Yeah, I don't see any.
You don't see anything. Her hand just raised. So I'm going to take that as a I am here. Hopefully
Okay.
she'll, usually her phone, she talks with her phone.
Yeah, I can see if I go to the participants drop-down menu, I can see her in the participants, but I don't see her face or her phone number on the video screen.
Well, I'm going to mark her as present, even though.
Yeah, she did put her hand up on, like I said, I did see that.
Yeah, so that's kind of I'm here, gang. That's the way I take it. All right, Veronica Kell present. And Lynn Pinkerton hand raised present. All right, the meeting is being recorded and it will be posted on YouTube. I have no additions or deletions. Do you, Dave?
I do not. Nope.
Okay, so no additions or deletions. Lynn, if you have it, raise your hand if you have something to add or not. Okay, I don't see anything there. All right, I only got the minutes for 10/28 done, and I sent them to you when I sent the agenda. Is there a motion?
Yeah, they look fine to me. Motion to approve the. What's the date on the minutes?
The minutes are, it's the 10/28 minutes. The minutes.
I'll motion that we approve the minutes for taken for 10/28/2021. You're gonna have to do it yourself, but
I will second.
Yeah.
Lynn, if you have anything that you'd like to say.
She raised her hand.
She raised her hand. Should I say that's an all in favor?
Actually, let's do one more time. Lynn, if you raise your hand, does that mean you agree? Can you just, if you raise your hand, does that mean you agree? Yes. Okay.
All right. We've got the sign language down.
There you go.
Lynn, see if there's a thumbs down if you disagree. Anyway. All right. So all those in favor?
Yes. You want to do a voice one?
Yeah, it's a remote meeting, so we have to do voice.
David Chanel, yes.
Veronica Kell, yes. And Lynn Pinkerton, hand raised.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so that's the minutes. All right, our task for today was to look through the auditors and compare our lists. So I wonder if Lynn emailed a list to us. Let me check my email. I haven't checked that for no. I
don't have anything.
I don't either. Okay, so I'm not Lynn, do you have a list of auditors that you could email to us? I'm not sure what to do.
Don't know. I wonder why she can't have voice on that.
She's probably working on a system that doesn't have a camera or audio or video or audio. And then you can usually come in with your phone. So if she can see us,
yeah,
but we can't see her, but her hand is still raised. So I'm not sure what to do. All we have is a hand raise.
Yeah, I mean, we do a quorum is 2 of 3, so we can even participate, keep going that way, and I mean, I was just prepared to give you verbally the 4 that I picked 4 that I thought were worth looking into. How many did you pick?
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a possible 5th.
Okay.
So who did you pick, Dave? Who are your people?
So I'll go down, I'll just go down the line and pick and show you the ones that I did.
Okay.
I like Mark Mueller, the one out of Leominster.
He was one of mine as well.
I figured because he specialized in stuff. He's like 3 miles from our town hall. The other one was Powers and Sullivan.
Okay, hang on a minute.
That's the
Powers
second-
and
second page?
Yes, they're mine as well. They came straight up.
Hey,
I think we have Lynn.
Lynn, shut the audio off on your computer.
Yeah,
You're having some echo problems.
I know. Hold on.
This is like, who put the bump in the bump, bump, bump,
Yeah.
bump, bump.
I wonder if we can.
Can we do it from here?
I cannot, but Harley, can you mute Veronica?
Yeah,
Lynn?
I'll try to mute her. Hold on.
Perfect.
Okay, I just muted her myself.
So the
But
one that just
she's-
shows the phone number though, you can't mute that because that's the one she's going to be talking from.
That was the one I just muted to kill that echo. I'll unmute it if you want me to.
Yeah, we won't hear her otherwise, but
Yeah,
how
the
will
one
this
with
work?
well, the one with her name, the one that's just her name itself. Can you tag her so she can't? No, well, she's got to mute it herself. It won't work if you do it.
All right. Well, I put down ask to unmute.
There.
There you go.
That worked.
Ellen?
Hello.
Not quite.
I gotta get a new computer.
So, Lynn, you have to mute your computer. So if you're on your cell phone phone's picking up the.
There's feedback there.
Yeah.
Well, it shows that I am.
Not on Zoom, but muted on your computer itself. Is there a button?
Shut the speakers off. There you go.
That did it. Maybe. Lynn, talk.
Hello.
It's
Well, we
better.
still have an echo, but,
It's better. It's better than it was.
right.
Okay.
All right, so Powers and Sullivan for you,
So Powers
Dave?
and Sullivan. Yep. The next
Okay,
one
so
was.
your two are my two so far.
That's good. So the next one I have is Roselli Clark and Associates.
That's one of mine as well. And who
Okay,
was your
and the-
fourth?
My last one is Scanlon and Associates.
Why did I not? I put a no next to them. They were one of the ones that I picked to look at,
Yep.
but I put a no next to them. And I think it's because they're the ones that home office is South Deerfield.
Paxton, they're in Paxton, Mass.
There's a Paxton, Mass. I don't know if I had the right office for them.
They actually specialize in municipal services.
Okay, I might not have found them right on the website then. I also chose Clifton Larson.
Which one is it?
Clifton Larson Allen, LLP.
Yep.
They have an office in Worcester. And they do, for the CARES Act funding consulting and the ARPA consulting, they're another company that does that. And Ashby used them for their COVID consulting accounting services. And I know I contacted them first when we were trying to find someone for Townsend. And I did call them because of ARPA funding consulting.
Mhm.
But anyway, they're a national company, but they have local offices. Their offices here are in Worcester, Lexington, North Andover. Those are the most local ones.
Okay.
So I would include them. And Lynn, who did you pick?
I picked Powers and Sullivan.
So that's all three of us picked that one.
Roswell and Clark.
That's we picked that one too.
Roselli and Clark, yep.
Scanlon and Associates.
Oh, you did Scanlon and Associates too, okay.
And Mark Mueller.
Oh, Mark Mueller.
Okay. So, Ryan, do you know why you crossed out Scanlon?
These are my notes. First, I got insurance agency ? Then I had www.scanlon-cpa.com. So I went to that, and yeah, it had something that was written on their website that I found questionable. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Scanlon and Associates. Oh, I know what it was. It said something like, in most cases, they follow the updated rules. It was a caveat like that. Okay, so I went to services, and then so municipal services. Most of our audits are now in compliance with the new GASB 34 reporting model, and that's why I didn't choose them. Our professionals have experience in auditing federal grants and programs and are knowledgeable in the Single Audit Act process and the UMAS accounting system. And then I thought, UMAS accounting system, what is that? I know we use a VADAR accounting system. Most of our audits are now, that was my key word, most of our audits are now in compliance with the new GASB 34 reporting model. And that's why I did not select them. It could be arbitrary, but that was the words that made me think, okay, these other two are better. That's all.
Okay.
No other reason.
Oh, even without those, the three of us have picked three consistent companies.
We have, and I will tell you that Ross, our interim TA, he had been a TA in Sterling, and he checked with them. They use Roselli for their auditors. So they do, that is one, review on the positive end for them.
Okay.
So
we all picked Mark Mueller, Powers and Sullivan, and Roselli. Lynn and I picked Scallon, and you picked Clifton Larson.
Right. So should we just query those three that we all chose?
Oh,
and we could do Scanlon and Associates as well, because
that five going out to five bidders for PO purchase order, as we used to call it in industry, whatever they call it in municipal world. Go out for request for code RFQ. That's fine. Five is perfectly fine for numbers, I think.
Okay, then let's do those five.
Okay.
All right.
Did you get Ross to give you like a boilerplate letter that we can, or did you get
I haven't gotten
administrative
one
services? Yet. Okay.
I looked, Carolyn and I looked through our files, and there was nothing. She did find from somewhere else, she was going to send me an RFP, and I can get that from her if we think that will be helpful. Let me again.
So you guys call it a request for price instead of, I used to call it an RFQ, a request for quote, but it's the same thing.
It's a request for proposal, yeah.
Proposal. I would think that one for an audit would be specific with certain terms and conditions that I'm not aware of myself.
Let me see what she said. Dunstable didn't have a letter. Pepperell didn't have a letter. She found an RFP from Harwich that has some language that may help, and she would give that to me if we thought it was useful.
Okay.
So I'll get that from her. I'll get the RFP.
Yeah, perfect.
And look at that, and I will send that to both of you. Maybe I'll pull out some language from it and send the thing, and we can come up with a letter to those five companies. And
is it possible that you could ask? Is it possible that you could ask Ross to help us with the drafting of that kind of a letter? I mean, I assume he must have.
It
Ross,
is in the policy that we have Board of Selectmen administrative support.
I saw that. I have it highlighted on my.
So I will ask Carolyn to help us with that then,
Okay.
or Ross, and have Carolyn type it up for us.
Perfect.
And we can go from there.
That's
So,
perfect.
All right. So do we have a goal date for getting this out? I know that Ross is only in today. He's not in the rest of the week. He'll be in again on Monday, the 15th, and we have Thanksgiving coming up the following week. So I am thinking of our goal date for getting this out as like the 30th of November. So we'll work on the letter kind of offline and maybe meet on the 30th or the 1st with the goal of mailing out.
So you want a goal of mailing out by the end of this month?
Yeah, is that too soon or too late?
What's the timeline? When do you want to have a targeted company selected?
Okay, so I looked at the engagement letter for this round, and it was July of 2019, but that was for the year that ended June 2019. That was correct. FY29 ended June of 2019, and the engagement letter went out in July for FY19, 20, and 21. So I am thinking if we get an engagement letter out in the spring, we're probably doing okay. Because their audit will be the first audit that this new company does will be for FY22, which is the year that ends June 22.
Correct.
So I'm thinking if we get it out February, March, April, we're doing okay.
So if you step.
Well, if I can just jump in here.
It's hard to hear because for every word you say, we hear it 5 times.
Oh. Well, I would type it, but I don't see anything on the bottom for a message.
No, we'll just work through it.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, okay, first of all, we have to create the letter. And on the letter that you, was there a date for the agencies to receive back what?
Well, that's what I was getting at, Lynn. I was going to say, let's back into it. When do we want the engagement letter to be sent out? Then you figure you backfit it at that point. You figure if we want the letters to go out April 1st for an engagement as of the start of the new fiscal year. So you say, all right, April. So how long is it going to take to evaluate the RFPs or RFQs, whatever you want to call them? So if we go out April, maybe it takes us a month to evaluate, maybe a follow-up letter. So maybe that's a month. So that would put you down to probably the end of beginning March, end of February. And then how long is it going to take them to write a quote or proposal per our letter? So if we get it out, I would think we get it out middle of December.
Okay.
And it gives them 6 weeks to respond. That brings us then into beginning of February.
Okay.
So you just timeline it that way. I think that, so I don't want to rush the letter either, because I want to make sure that we have a good, so I would think as long as we get this out by December 15th.
Okay.
Keeping in mind that it's going to still be the holiday season, regardless of religious persuasion. So if we go December 15th and say the RFPs are due by January 30th, gives us a month to review, maybe some follow-up calls, and then we can do send out the engagement letter in end of March, early April.
I think that sounds reasonable. Okay.
Okay.
So I have the query letter, whatever, December 15th, the RFP, the response back by January 30.
I'd say just they give them 6 weeks to respond,
Okay, 6
which
weeks.
is what that is.
All right. And then letters back, we have a month to evaluate roughly.
And maybe back into more to resolicit some more information if some of them are a little questionable, you know,
Okay,
qualifiers, whatever, but that gives us a month to do that.
right. With the goal being April 1st or even May 1st for the
Yeah,
other.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just
Okay.
don't know the industry. I don't know what they need to, don't know the time they need to turn this stuff on, you know? Do they do preliminary stuff in order to, you get the engagement letter? Do they do preliminary evaluation or they just come in here July 1st and said, all right, give me your books? I don't know that process. Maybe Linda's from the finance committee world.
Do you, Lynn?
No.
Well, I
Well,
sent
I
out the
would-
engagement letter.
I mean, I've been through an audit before, and usually they send a team come in and go, and they have a list of things that they need to check. And they would go to, like, say, the accountant and said, I need to see this.
So we don't send them any preliminary documents at the time of the or once the engagement letter is executed? You don't send them preliminary stuff ahead of time?
No,
Okay.
not unless, well, we have to decide which company and then their rules.
Well, yeah, the engagement letter would be only sent to the person the company who we selected as the successful RFP candidate, right? So, and I assume their engagement letter would require their signature of acceptance before we do anything with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So if we send it out, like you said, maybe sometime in April, and it gives them a couple of weeks to execute and respond back, and then go to town. I assume their RFP, the response to the RFP is going to dictate what they need and when and so on, the documents they need and all that, I would hope.
I was looking at the engagement letter, hoping that would help to inform the query letter and
It didn't help me.
So I'll get the RFP that from Harwich that you know, and anything else that comes up. I mean, that within the next week and put something together. But the engagement letter is that's like the final thing, I think.
Yeah, but so Melanson sends Ross an engagement letter, you know, it's strange that you and Carol couldn't find any RFP for this, that triggered the response that made this engagement. It doesn't make sense to me.
They have been our auditors since it was either 2006 or 2008. It's been a good long time.
Wow.
We have only used Melanson and Heath for the past 13 years or so, maybe 15. And so I think it's just been an automatic response because they're the ones that do it.
Gotcha.
And we could not, in the files, we looked back, we couldn't find anything from when it switched from Powers or Roberts or whoever did it before. It wasn't Powers, it was Roberts, I think. Whoever switched from before to Melanson Heath, I thought there would be something in there saying, you know,
Yeah.
we queried this many, and there wasn't.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so I don't know what they wrote to ask for that, but I think it's been kind of automatic from
Okay.
that point forward. It's been every 3 months, we've just renewed with Melanson Heath because you can do that.
Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. You just send them an engagement letter. So we couldn't find anything that
Okay.
indicated that that the town had looked anywhere else. So,
Okay.
all right. So what I will do is get stuff together and send it to you guys over. It won't be, you won't get anything this week. It'll be hopefully by the end of next week before Thanksgiving. something that you can review. When do we want to meet again? If we want to get the letter out, say Wednesday, the 15th of December, the week before that, like
I
the
would say
week
the
of
week
December 6th?
before, yeah, the week before to vote on the acceptance of we can draft, the draft letter can be going back and forth. It's not really, it's just drafting a letter. But then we would meet before that to motion to approve the form and the substantive portion of it. And then if you get Carolyn in the Board of Selectmen's office to help, then they would also send the letters out for us as well. Would be your
Yes.
assumption? Okay.
Mhm. And
That's-
then they'd come back and we would meet late January or
to
early
get to review it.
February.
Yeah. I think meeting like around the, I don't know, the 10th or whatever day it would be. Oh,
10th is a Friday.
No, probably the
I could-
7th or 8th.
I could do the 7th. We have a Board of Selectmen meeting that night. The 8th is harder for me because there's an MJTC meeting that afternoon at
I have
2:30.
a ZBA meeting on the 8th as well.
Can we do the 9th, maybe?
Yeah, as long as we can turn it around once we vote on it, it should be in the final format anyways, right?
Right.
I can do that. I don't know, Lynn, can you do this that 9th?
It's a Thursday, Lynn. We didn't
she
lose
did.
her, did we?
Yeah, she was
Oh,
on.
yes, I can.
Okay. What time what time would you prefer, Lynn?
I'm available, so whatever
We
What
you,
do-
about you, Dave?
4 o'clock, is that okay?
that's fine.
4 is fine with me. Okay, so let's do 4 p.m. on December 9th for the Audit Committee meeting, and it should only be to approve the letter, to vote on the letter.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess as soon as we can get a skeletal version of the letter out that we can look at, I would think Ross would have connections that he'd be able to get something that's pretty, I mean, it's got to be a boilerplate letter, but it's just that we don't know what the boilerplate is.
Right. So I'll talk more about that with Ross. He might be able to get it from Sterling, if not anywhere else, or Conway, one or the other. Those are
Okay.
his
Perfect.
two most recent places. So, okay. All right. I will get out what I can. It probably won't be till next week, but I'll get what I can out to you. All right.
We flew through that agenda.
We did. Our next meeting is December 9th, and I don't have anything else. Do either of you?
I do not.
Lynn?
Nope.
All right, motion
Great.
to adjourn then.
Second.
All those in favor to adjourn at 3:32 p.m.
David Chanel, yes.
Lynn Pinkerton, yes?
Veronica Kell, yes. All right, thank you, you guys.
Thanks, Al. It was good.
All right,
Have a good one. All right,
you
bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye.